What's up, YouTube? This is Bystander X79. I'm coming to you with my latest deck profile on my post-Cybernetic Horizons Cyber Dragon deck. Now, I can tell you right now, when this set was initially released and I saw that we're getting Cyber Dragon support, after the Cyber Dragon support was announced, I got insanely excited because of what this deck can do. And I can tell you right now, the new support does not disappoint. Now, Cyber Dragons have always been known as an OTK style deck, and the new support just helps streamline that just a little bit better now. So excited! I'm just gonna jump right into this. First and foremost, like we always do, we got the monsters, and we can't run a Cyber Dragon deck unless we're running 3 copies of the OG Cyber Dragon. Alright. This bad boy, level 5, 2100 attack, 1600 defense, special summons itself from your hand when your opponent controls a monster and you don't. Very damn useful card back in the day when mono decks were just coming around. Nowadays, going second might seem like a bad thing, but this deck can play second and still get you the win. So, 3 copies of him. And of course we have the Heart, Soul, and Core, Cyber Dragon Core of the deck. Cyber Dragon Core. Alright. Whenever this guy is normal summon, you search your deck for a Cyber spell or trap. Awesome, because there's a lot of targets now. While this card's in the graveyard, you can banish it to special summon out one Cyber Dragon right from your deck. And all these Cyber Dragon smaller monsters, while they're face up on the field or in the graveyard, count as the original Cyber Dragon. This is a very important effect because this effect is mandatory. It is not optional. Alright? And that's very important when we get to the spells, and I talk about one spell in particular, so keep that in mind going forward. Alright? Now, for one of the new kids on the block, Cyber Dragon Hers. Alright, it has the same main chase effect, just like Cyber Dragon Core. Alright? 2 other effects. Well, whenever a special summon, its level becomes level 5, but you can only special summon out machine type monsters after that. And whenever this card is sent to the graveyard, you could add 1 Cyber Dragon from your deck to your hand. Oh, deck or graveyard to your hand, excuse me. Oh, which is great because it allows you to get a little bit more recurrence with the cards in your graveyard. And since all the support Cyber Dragon monsters count as Cyber Dragon while in the graveyard, you'll be able to get it back. Great recurrence. Alright, and we have Cyber Dragon Veer. Special summons itself whenever you normal special summon a Cyber Dragon, except during this damage step. Alright. Which is very cool because this card can actually now allow you to chain block when you summon out another Cyber Dragon. So let's just turn around and just quickly go through one of the plays. You normal summon out your Cyber Dragon Core, you go for the search, and then you immediately special summon him, Cyber Dragon Veer, from your hand. By doing that, your opponent cannot respond to Cyber Dragon Core's search effect with things like Ash Blossom or Troll Unlock because this was the most recent card to be activated. Therefore, Cyber Dragons now have a way to chain block your opponent from using hand traps against you. Alright. Again, like the other mini dragons, counts as Cyber Dragon while in the field or in the graveyard, and it power boosts all your Cyber Dragons by 500 attack and defense. Not bad boost. I'm typically not going to be keeping it on the field for the boost. It's more just another extra body to go into other plays. Alright, then you have Cyber Elton, main deck boss monster. Basically, you banish your light entropy machine monsters from your field and graveyard. This card gets 500 points for every light entropy monster banished by this card's effect. And then it bounces all the spell and trap cards on the field off the field so you can actually swing big. Alright, since this is not an extra deck monster, you can actually do some serious damage just attacking one specific monster. Okay. Last but not least, we have 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier. Galaxy Soldier is so awesome in this deck. It is a light attribute level 5 machine type monster, which makes it searchable through Cyber Repair Plan. It also helps thin out your deck and your hand. Basically, discard 1 light attribute machine monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this guy in defense mode, then you search your deck for another one. Awesome. Since it's level 5, you go into your rank 5 plays, which is typically Cyber Dragon Nova. Or in case if you need to, Constellar Pleiades. And that's it for the monsters. We're going to get right into the spells. Alright. I have 2 copies of Called by the Grave. This right here is your effect block for a lot of different cards. A lot of people call this the anti-hand trap spell, but you can use this basically to banish any monster from your opponent's graveyard to negate that monster's effects for the rest of the turn. It's very handy to block any monster effects. Just be careful; it can block your own if you're running the same monsters. All right. I have 3 copies of Cyber Emergency. Alright, it allows you to add 1 light attribute machine type monster that cannot be normal summoned. That's Cyber Elton in this deck. Or you can add 1 Cyber Dragon monster from your deck to your hand. So it's either one of those 2. In case this card is negated, you get to discard a card from your hand and add it back to your... add the spell card back to your hand, which is pretty cool. It gives you a little bit of a recycling thing. You can only use that effect once per turn, unlike in the mana, where you can just use it repeatedly, constantly. But I guess the wizards of the R&D Konami department decided once is enough. And I can kind of get behind it. Just being able to search out something to discard, to recycle it, just too good. Alright. 2 copies of Cyber Repair Plan. Alright, now this card requires a little bit more of a setup than Cyber Emergency, which is why I'm only going to. It requires a Cyber Dragon in your graveyard. Thankfully, practically all the Cyber Dragon monsters count as Cyber Dragon in your graveyard, so they're cool with that, as long as you get one in your graveyard. It has 2 different effects depending on what you want to do. You can either search your deck for 1 light machine type monster and add it to your hand, or you can take a light machine type monster and basically shuffle it back into your deck. Now, if you happen to have 3 Cyber Dragon monsters in your graveyard, guess what? You get to use both effects in sequence. So it's a pretty awesome card to have. Okay, we have 2 copies of Cyber Rev System, one of the newest spell support cards. This card is typically a play extender. Basically, you allow the special summon a Cyber Dragon from your hand or your graveyard. Again, keep in mind that mini Cyber Dragon effect where its name is treated as Cyber Dragon in the graveyard, and you can special summon it, and that special summon card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Pretty flippin' awesome. I like the extra addition of protecting that monster you special summon with it, so your opponent just can't just turn around and pop it as soon as you get it back. So at least you're going to be able to do something by summoning it out with this card. Alright. Bullish Burial, which is a great combo starter, say with something like Cyber Rev System, or if you need something in the graveyard to utilize Cyber Repair Plan. Or, in case when we get it to Overload Fusion. Or there's this card, Inferno Reckless Summon. Basically, whenever one of your monsters with 1500 or less attack are special summoned to the field, this card, you can activate this card and then special summon as many cards with the same name from your hand, deck, or graveyard to the field in mass. And there are a total of 7 targets in this deck to do. We have to use this card with. We have Core, Hers, and Veer, all only 1500 attack. They all count as Cyber Dragon when they're in the graveyard or on the field, which means you're basically summoning back all those monsters in the field, and Just with the certain fusion monsters in my extra deck, you can make a Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon 5k. Easy. If you don't want to do that, there's also the, if you have room on the, to summon with the, in the extra monster zones, you can go into an Xyz play, build into Cyber Dragon Infinity, or if your opponent has extra Link you can just turn around and Contact Fuse to go for Mega Fleet and still have backup behind it. So there's a whole lot of options here for this deck to do. It's a great card. It adds to the OTK factor of the deck, and I wouldn't play the deck without it now. Okay. For another play starter, Instant Fusion, there's only 2 targets in the deck. I have a very strong opinion that you should run the same number of Instant Fusions equal to the same number of targets you have in the extra deck. Since I'm only running 2 targets in the extra deck, you have 2 targets. You have 2 Instant Fusions in your deck. This way, it keeps both copies alive. Pay 1,000 life points, just special summon that target from your extra deck to the field. Since it's a level 5 Light Dripping Machine Type monster, this fits into the rest of the scope with the strategies in the deck. Synchro with it, Xyz something with it, or just use it as an extra body for Elton. Limiter removal, because no machine type deck should be not running this card, especially one that specializes in OTKing your opponent. Activate this card during a damage step. It doubles the attack points of every machine type monster on the field. Downside, yeah, all machine type monsters are destroyed during the end phase, but you're going to be doing some serious big damage. And with the monsters you could put out, yeah, you're probably going to win the game. You don't have to worry about the destruction effect. Okay, then we have 2 copies of Machine Duplication. There are 6 potential targets for this card. You have 3 copies of Core, 3 copies of hers. The thing about it, and this is the whole main thing why I emphasized on remembering the whole name change to Cyber Dragon while face up on the field. Basically because if you have Core on the field with and you activate this card and target this card, you're not special summoning out 2 other copies of Core. You're actually special summoning out 2 copies of the original Cyber Dragon because its name has been changed to Cyber Dragon by its effect. The same thing applies with hers as well. And the primary reason why I'm only running 2 copies of Machine Dupe is basically because even with Cyber Repair Plant in the deck, one copy will special summon out 2 copies of Cyber Dragon from your deck to the field. With 1 copy of Cyber Repair Plan, even just recycling just 1 copy of Cyber Dragon back, of the original Cyber Dragon back into your deck, and you don't draw into the third Cyber Dragon, you're only going to have 1 more play of Machine Duplication, because even a 3rd copy of Cyber Repair Plan will only put 1 copy of Cyber Dragon back into your deck at a time, making that 3rd copy of Machine Tube completely and totally dead and useless in your hand. That's the reason why this card's at 2, and it will remain at 2. I haven't had an issue drawing into it when I need it when it's at 2. I actually find it very useful when at this ratio. 1 copy of Monster Reborn, play extender. 1-for-1, this is your play starter. It allows you to get your hers on the field, and hers has that effect where it's special summon. It's level 5. Add that to maybe an Instant Fusion, you got your rank 5 Xyz play right there. 2 copies of Overload Fusion, Load Graveyard, Fusion Summon out Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, and then you can swing for game with that. Because Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon is your primary OTK engine, and then you have Power Bomb, which basically doubles the attack of any machine type fusion monster you summon with it. This card is insane with Rampage Dragon. It's insane with Cyber Twin Dragon. It just gets you a lot of attack on the field at once. And even if your opponent has built up a major board, attacking with the fact that Link monsters can't go into defense mode, you're basically going to be going at your opponent's life points anyway. So the extra boost to the attack is going to definitely help. Downside is that during the end of the turn, if you don't finish with your opponent, you're taking damage to the original attack of the Fusion Summon monster. But typically, if you're bringing out a monster like that, you are in a position to actually swing for games. So, I won't worry too much about that. Traps, there's only 3 traps. The new trap, Cybernetic Overflow, basically banish any number of Cyber Dragons from your grave that pop an equal number of cards on your opponent's field. Awesome. If this card is ever destroyed by your opponent's effect, you have to search your deck for another Cyber spell or trap, which is awesome. Alright, speaking of Cyber traps, I have Cyber Network in here. It's a continuous trap, but the primary reason why this card's in this deck is because there are a few cards, Eltonin and Overflow, that banish your, and even you could do a Roll of Fusion that banish your Cyber Dragons out of your graveyard into the banish out. This card can get those cards back on the field, so you can potentially make a comeback in case your opponent counters on one of those plays. And the last spicy little tech card that I have in my deck, and something that I don't run, I will not run the Cyber Dragon without it, is DNA Surgery. DNA Surgery, you flip this card face up, you call Machine, every single monster on the field turns into a Machine type monster. That includes your opponent. So even if your opponent extra links you, and you just summon out a simple core, Cyber Dragon core, you can turn around and turn your opponent's extra link board against them and basically make a 6K Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Or if you use the Infernal Reckless Summon play, you can make a 10K Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. So either way, those big Chimera Tech Fortress Dragons attacking your opponent directly and getting that extra link board off the field, damn useful. Alright, going into the extra deck, so of course we have the instant fusion targets, Panzer Dragon, special summon this card out. It's a level 5 light attribute machine, allows you to go into your rank 5 plays. You let it be destroyed by instant fusion's effect, it can pop a card off your opponent's field. So there is that option, and in case you need to tribute summon maybe for a Cyber Dragon or a Galaxy Soldier, it gets you a tribute fighter too. Alright. Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, 2 copies. This is your OTK engine right there. Basically, you're allowed to pop as many spell and trap cards on the field equal to the number of materials you used for his fusion summon. You can then send up to 3 monsters cards from your deck to the graveyard in order to give this card 3 extra attacks. Okay, now imagine power boosting this with Power Bond and limited removal. Power Bond boosts up to 4,200. Limited removal will knock it up to 84. 8,400 attack points, being able to attack 3 times. You do the math. Alright, didn't mention this with a lot of different plays. Just making this guy big. It's so easier just to make this guy huge now. Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon needs to be in this deck. Can't say enough about this card. It's helped me win a lot of games. Alright, Mega Fleet Dragons in this deck. Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragons also in this deck. Just in case you don't have the resources to go into a big Fortress Dragon, this guy will get you. This guy can get at least 2 of the monsters, extra link monsters, off the field, specifically the ones in the extra monster zone. It will top out around 3,600 in attack, but it's seriously worth going after. And last but not least, we have Cyber Twin Dragon. I believe that monsters that can attack multiple times in a turn are damn still useful in this game. He's no exception. He gets you 2 attacks. Power Bond him out. He goes up from 2,800 to 5,600, and that's seriously nothing to laugh at when you're attacking smaller monsters. That's it for the fusions. Xyz play, Constellar Pleiades. Walking Compulsory Evacuation Device gets monsters off your opponent's field. And then of course you have Noble Dragon, which means you're going to build into 2 copies of Cyber Dragon Infinity. Infinity steals monsters, attack position monsters from your opponent's side of the field, which can help break up the extra link plays. Or big link boards. And also can use any of its materials to negate card effects, which is just so awesome. Adds a layer of protection, and of course the Link monsters themselves, you have Link Rebo because hers is level 1. Adds a defensive layer to this deck. You have Cyber Dragon Seeger, counts as Cyber Dragon on the field and in the graveyard, just like the mini monsters. Awesome. If it doesn't attack, you can power boost another Cyber Dragon monster on the field with its own attack by 2100, which is so awesome. So, Rampage Dragon, choosing someone out with Power Bond at 4200. You add this guy's 2100 at 63, and then during battle phase, you, I don't know, flip limiter removal, and you basically go up to 12,600 life points. That can attack 3 times. I mean, he's a great power boost. I would really wish if the arrows were in the corners, but they gave us right and down, left and down instead. So, and of course, last but not least, Summon Sorceress. Mono-type decks will love seeing her. Especially summon out a little mini monster in defense mode to your opponent's side of the field, and then you can start bringing out your bigger monsters, which then ultimately allow you to expand into bigger and better plays off of her. And with that being said, this is my updated Cyber Dragon deck profile for the May 2018 format / ban list. Guys, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about this deck, leave them in the comments. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, hit that subscribe button. And make sure you enable notifications by ringing the bell so you turn around and won't miss any content when I post it. Alright? So guys, until next time, peace out.